What happens when you stop following the crowd? When you no longer speak their words, dream their dreams, or fear their fears? In a world obsessed with belonging, what becomes of the one who walks away? Friedrich Nietzsche asked this question, not just with words, but with the way he lived. He abandoned the academic world, traditional religion, even friendships, because he refused to betray his own mind. He saw something others didn't, and it cost him everything. But it also gave him something no one else had: freedom. In this video, we'll journey through what it truly means to abandon the herd. But stay with me, because Nietzsche's teachings are not just warnings, they are doorways to inner power. We'll uncover not just what you lose, but what you might become if you dare to walk alone. 1. The nature of the herd. To Nietzsche, the herd isn't just a group of people, it's a state of mind. The herd clings to what is familiar, safe, and easy. It wants security more than truth, conformity more than freedom. It's the collective morality that tells you what is good, bad, acceptable, and shameful, long before you ever ask why. The herd is comfort disguised as wisdom. It tells you to be modest, obedient, and agreeable, not because it's noble, but because it's easier to control people who don't think for themselves. Nietzsche believed that most people choose slavery, not to chains or rulers, but to their own fear of standing alone. And here's the paradox: the herd sees itself as moral, even virtuous, but that morality is built on denial, the denial of risk, change, and true individuality. Nietzsche called this slave morality, a morality born from weakness and resentment, not a morality of strength, but of fear. 2. The pain of walking away. So what happens when you leave the herd? At first it hurts. You feel like you're disappearing, like you've stepped off a moving train and the world just speeds past you. Friends may distance themselves. People will say you've changed. And they're right. You're no longer wearing the mask. Nietzsche understood this isolation. His ideas were rejected by the very institutions that once praised him. He walked alone through the Swiss Alps, suffering from migraines, heartbreak, and mental collapse. But he didn't stop. Why? Because for him, truth was worth the loneliness. Leaving the herd isn't just an act of rebellion. It's a rite of passage. You must confront your own emptiness, your lack of certainty. But through that inner silence, something begins to awaken. A voice not of the herd, but of your own becoming. And it whispers, "Keep going." 3. The abyss and the overman. Here Nietzsche introduces one of his most powerful ideas, the Ubermensch, or overman. This is not a superhero or an elitist. It's someone who has mastered themselves, someone who has gone through the fire of unlearning the world and emerged with their own truth. But first, you must face the abyss. Nietzsche famously said, "When you gaze long into the abyss also gazes into you." This is the moment when all your old beliefs fall apart, when you feel ungrounded, even lost. But this, Nietzsche believed, was necessary. Because only in the collapse of false values can you begin to create your own. The overman doesn't follow morality handed down from tradition or religion. He creates his own values, not selfishly, but courageously. He transforms suffering into growth, solitude into insight. He is not a follower but a creator, not a consumer but a philosopher-warrior. 4. The secret threat to the herd. Here's something most people never see coming. When you leave the herd, you don't just become different, you become dangerous. Not because you intend to harm anyone, but because your very existence begins to challenge the comfort of others. The herd isn't threatened by rebels who shout. It's threatened by the quiet confidence of those who walk alone and thrive. Nietzsche understood this on a deep psychological level. He saw that the herd is built on collective fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of facing life without a script. So when someone dares to live outside that script and begins to grow, evolve, and succeed without the herd's approval, it exposes a painful truth, that the path less traveled was possible all along. And that's terrifying to those who never took it. Think about it. When you pursue your own truth and create your own values, you hold up a mirror. And in that mirror, others see their compromises. Your independence makes their dependency look like weakness. Your courage makes their conformity look like cowardice. They don't hate you. They hate what you represent, the freedom they denied themselves. So don't be surprised if they mock you, isolate you, or say you become arrogant, cold, or delusional. That's not your failure, it's their discomfort. Nietzsche once said, "The higher we soar, the smaller we appear to those who cannot fly." You aren't here to be understood by everyone. You're here to understand yourself. 5. Becoming who you are. Of all Nietzsche's teachings, perhaps the most profound and deceptively simple is this: become who you are. But what does that really mean? Most people assume they already are themselves, but Nietzsche didn't believe that. He believed most people were simply playing roles, echoing what they were told to believe, chasing what they were taught to desire, and fearing what they were conditioned to avoid. To become who you are, you must first unbecome everything the world projected onto you. This is not a comfortable process. It involves peeling away years of identity that were never truly yours. It means looking at your ambitions, your beliefs, even your relationships, and asking, did I choose this? Or was I told this is who I should be? This is where Nietzsche's real challenge lies. Becoming who you are isn't a matter of finding a new label. It's about building a new foundation. It means creating your values, not copying them. It means taking responsibility for your pain, your failures, and your victories, without blaming fate, God, or society. It's the art of becoming your own origin, your own answer, your own authority. And yes, it's lonely, it's demanding, but it's also the most liberating path you can take. Because once you stop living to be liked, you start living to be real. And in that authenticity lies the power to not just exist, but to live fully. That is the essence of Nietzsche's philosophy. Not comfort, not happiness, but greatness born from truth. So ask yourself, not later, but now, are you who you were told to be, or who you were born to become? So, what happens when you abandon the herd? You suffer, you awaken, you rise. You begin the most important journey of your life, the one toward becoming fully, fearlessly, and authentically you. If this journey speaks to something in you, then stay with this channel, because there's more to discover, more forgotten wisdom, more voices from the past, that just might awaken your future.